Welcome everyone! We are jam-packed and live from Japan, coming to you tonight with 3 amazing matches, 3 massive matches, 3 huge matches that will change the course of professional wrestling. It's Wrestling Dontaku 2014. The action begins right now. The Catchweight Championship Tournament has been raging war since January 23rd. It continues right now. The 2 individuals who were previously eliminated and voted back in by the fans, one of these 2 men are going to advance to round number 2 of your Catchweight Championship Tournament. Let's go back to a live shot of the arena. Let's see which 2 individuals the fans selected. You hear that trademark Rob Zombie cover, Scum of the Earth, and here comes the individual which the fans voted back in for a second chance in this tournament. It's Rat Boy, it's Yoshinari Ogawa. Ogawa making his way down to the ring. It is a second chance. It is a chance for him to kick out. You almost cannot have a Pro Wrestling Noah mega card without involving one of the individuals who put this organization on the map. Let's see how he does against his opponent, and let's go back to that entrance flank and find out who that opponent will be. Manabu Nakanishi from New Japan Pro Wrestling, an individual who a couple of weeks ago was thrown into a match with the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Kenta Kobashi. That night, we talked about how Manabu Nakanishi only needed to hang with Kenta Kobashi, didn't need to defeat him to put his name on the map. Manabu Nakanishi did just that. It was a week later where he did it again against Mitsuharu Misawa. The fans have voted him back in. Let's see how he does. It's his second chance in this tournament. Will he advance past Ogawa to round 2? Opening bout begins right now. You hear that opening bell. What's going on? Once again, it's your boy, Arachnid Soul, intellectual and voracious as always. We thank you for joining us on a Sunday night for this pay-per-view. To identify the fighters, you see the name Ogawa back on one of the fighters' trunks there, the man in the black and white. The larger individual, minus the knee pads, in the black trunks, with the black boots on, is one Manabu Nakanishi. These are the 2 individuals that the fans voted back into this tournament. Scooping a slam that time from Ogawa. Ogawa, Mr. Pro Wrestling Noah. Mr. Schoolboy, wait a minute. Ogawa, with the 1 count only. Ogawa is known for those sneaky covers. He is known for those quick pins. He will look for the belly-to-back suplex, that bridging belly-to-back. And drops him. Almost overhead powerbomb style that time. Lateral press. Nakanishi, not wasting any time, almost got a 2.5 there. Once again, Ogawa will look for those sneaky covers. They And there's a diving spear early on. They gave Ogawa the name Rat Boy because he's sneaky. If we talk about the heights and weights of these two wrestlers in this catch weight tournament, you saw a backslide a couple of seconds ago. Ogawa coming in with about a 60-pound weight disadvantage. Ogawa weighing in this afternoon at about 200 pounds. Manabu Nakanishi coming in at about 260. As you see that Saito suplex, that belly-to-back Greco-Roman style suplex, there is also a 2-inch height differential between these two fighters. Manabu Nakanishi there with the slight advantage. Another schoolboy from Ogawa. Ogawa gets another 1 count. We've talked so much about the importance of this tournament. The man who wins this tournament will go on to get a shot at either Jushin Thunder Liger or Kenta Kobashi, either that IWGP Junior Heavyweight belt that Liger holds, or that IWGP Heavyweight belt that Kenta Kobashi holds. We see the Fujiwara armbar. This was actually Manabu Nakanishi's finishing hold when he wrestled in Eric Bischoff's WCW. Actually broke one of the Road Warriors' arms with this move at a Clash of the Champions. Ogawa holding on. Ogawa not submitting. Ogawa not tapping out. We are in the opening contest, and what a slugfest this has already been. Ogawa with the drop kick. There's a receipt for some of those hard strikes we saw on the part of Manabu Nakanishi earlier on. Manabu Nakanishi now, Irish whip, hammerlock throw to the far side. Came in with the forearm shiver. Backhand knife edge chop. There you see that standing front face lock as he crotches Ogawa on the top rope. What's this gonna be? Off the top. Avalanche style Northern Light suplex. Nakanishi says that's it. There you see that brain claw, that modified Von Erich claw. We talked about 150 different wrestlers with that last name Von Erich won championships in Dallas and in Japan with that hold. And I'm receiving word at this time that Fight Night's finest is in the building. Once again, he will join us on commentary for that bloodbath, I'm sure it will be, between Scott Flash Norton and Jun Akiyama later on. No disqualification. Let's get back to this match. Yoshinari Ogawa, maybe looking for that figure 4 jackknife pin. Could not get it as he was kicked off. There's a drop kick in the corner. It was semi-paint brushed away, but I think some of it connected. There's that signature jawbreaker from Ogawa. Ogawa back in control here. Ogawa showing the fighting spirit. Belly to back suplex. Drops the big man. Nakanishi picked back up. Once again, another jawbreaker. If we talk about how Ogawa broke into this sport, he was actually broken in years ago in All Japan Pro Wrestling, in the AJPW dojo in Japan. His trainer was a man he went on to win many tag team championships with, both in Noah and in All Japan. His trainer is also a man tonight you will see in the main event. His trainer, of course, the legendary Mitsuharu Misawa. And to not just gloss over what I said about Manabu Nakanishi during the entrance, this is an individual who just a couple of weeks ago, as now we see Ogawa setting Nakanishi up on the top rope. There's that Shota palm strike. It was a couple of weeks ago, and there's the high knee that we saw. The man who just connected with that Harley Race style knee to the sternum that we saw Manabu Nakanishi take on Kenta Kobashi. We expected that Kobashi would just walk through this individual. Many of the fans did not think that Manabu Nakanishi had a chance. But it was a series of signatures, a series of trademarks, a series of finishing holds executed on the part of Manabu Nakanishi that damn near had a victory for Manabu Nakanishi over the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. There was a pile driver attempt there, but it was a squat and a back body drop from Manabu Nakanishi. Nakanishi with the elbow between the shoulder blades. Ogawa, three-quarter cravat chancery into that modified stretch plum. We talked earlier about how he was trained by Mitsuharu Misawa. That hold, one of Misawa's favorite holds. Ogawa once again with a drop kick. Ogawa has been a singles champion as well as a tag team champion over his illustrious career. Most of the championships he has held have been tag team championships. Most of those tag team championships, once again, with Misawa. Tonight, Ogawa going on his own. It's not a matter of cardio. He's got that. It's not a matter of psychology. He's got that. It's not a matter of speed. He's got that. It's a matter of figuring out a strategy to circumnavigate the power and the brutality of one Manabu Nakanishi. We haven't seen Ogawa much over the past month. The last time we saw him was in his original tournament match against a man who's going to be in the main event, Takeshi Morishima. It was that night that Morishima, despite the fact that Yoshinari Ogawa put up a tremendous fight, it was that night that Morishima came out on top. Over the past month, Ogawa has been obsessing with studying that match footage, with watching that match footage, with scouting that match footage. He's been studying what he needs to do to eventually defeat Morishima in a return match. When we look at the build of Nakanishi, we notice he has a similar weight advantage over Ogawa as did one Takeshi Morishima. So in scouting Takeshi Morishima, you've got to think that Rat Boy, Yoshinari Ogawa, has also been figuring out what he needs to do to compete against stronger, bigger, more powerful opponents. Will that strategy work out for him tonight? As we see the suplex on the part of Yoshinari Ogawa. It was another Saito suplex, another backdrop driver, forearm shot to the kidney that time, and a boot from Nakanishi. Nakanishi now once again with another torture rack. So many moves he can take out of this hold, and once again drops him overhead powerbomb style. Lateral press that time, does not even get a 1 count. Nakanishi now, heading up top. He's 260 pounds, but he can fly as he scores with that double sledge. I've also seen him come off the top with flying lariats, with missile drop kicks. Hell, I've seen him dive between the second and third rope to the outside and go tope suicida. There we see the figure 4 jackknife. That's a trademark move of Yoshinari Ogawa. That's another one of those quick Rat Boy style pins we talked about. Nakanishi gets the boot up in the corner, grabs his man once again. There's the hammerlock throw to the far side. Ogawa comes back. There's another spear. Even nastier, even more disgusting than the spear we saw earlier. Manabu Nakanishi, a man possessed, a man determined, a man focused, and one more spear. It was so nice, he did it twice. Nakanishi, almost shades of a Roderick Strong that time. We see the cover, 2 count only, almost shades of a Roderick Strong. They call him the Messiah of the backbreaker. A couple of seconds ago, we saw what we thought, what at least I thought, was going to be a belly-to-back suplex. Took it into a backbreaker. There's another Irish whip and another knee. Manabu Nakanishi has turned this thing around. He's putting together a serious combo. Once again, another Argentine-style backbreaker rack. Ogawa thrown away here in Japan. Damn near landed in Los Angeles. Fighting back, Irish whip to the corner. Ogawa goes in with that Austin Aries-style heat-seeking missile drop kick. Ogawa looked for a superplex before. Could not get it. Can he get it here? No, he can't. Once again, Manabu Nakanishi with the answer. That answer being a Shota palm strike, sending Ogawa to the outside that time as we see the blood pour from the forehead of Ogawa. Keep your eyes on Nakanishi. Double sledge to the outside. Nakanishi now. Waist lock. Are you kidding me? Release German suplex. Back up the skull first onto the concrete. If you are enjoying this action, once again, we invite you. It's every Thursday night. Every Thursday night. It is Thursday Night Throwdown. Ogawa outside the ring, laying in a pool of his own blood as Manabu Nakanishi looks on. Nakanishi owning the ring. Nakanishi dominating the ring. We always talk about the advantage a wrestler has when he's the first man back into the ring. You see Nakanishi there trying to rally support from the fans. Front face lock over that top cable. Brainbuster in. Ogawa right back up. Short lariato. Fires up. Does Nakanishi. Nakanishi grabs his man. Shoots him off to the corner. Boot up in the face by Ogawa. Lariato boot. Enziguri. Nakanishi coming out on top. Wait a minute. Ogawa right back up. Front face lock. Vertical snap suplex. Brainbuster on the 260-pounder. Nakanishi back up. There's another jawbreaker. Another signature. Nakanishi back up to his vertical base. Shoots Ogawa off to the corner. Ogawa with the boot up. Sits out. K. Bradora. Lucia, the sit-out senton. The modified Thez press. And once again, Nakanishi with the torture rack. Throws him down one more time, powerbomb style. We talked about Nakanishi flying before. Goes back up top. Off the top with a double sledge. That time it was blocked. Now with the waist lock. Now with the bear hug. That was nothing but strength. That deadlift belly-to-belly suplex. Almost shades of Hernandez in total non-stop action wrestling. There's another dropkick. That one connected. And Nakanishi now to the outside. Ogawa with the chance here to take back over this match. Shoots his man off to the guardrail. Ogawa will follow him in. Will stay on and picks him up. Shoots him off that time. Nakanishi put the brakes on. Gets sent back into the rail hard that time by Yoshinari Ogawa. Don't do it. Don't do it. Pile driver outside the ring. Ogawa taunting. Ogawa feeling it. Both of these men. As we see Nakanishi go skull first into the ring post. Both of these men are showing you exactly. And there it is again, skull first. Let me try to get it in. Both of these men. Time number 3. Ogawa's just messing around with me. Both of these men showing you how important it is to advance to round number 2 of this tournament. It was that match on Thursday Night Throwdown a couple of weeks ago. Nakanishi versus Kobashi. Kobashi actually breaking the nose of Nakanishi. It was the following week when Nakanishi took on Mitsuharu Misawa. That forearm shivers, that rolling elbows did not help the healing process of the nose of Manabu Nakanishi. You've got to wonder if Ogawa, with those ring post shots earlier, is trying to get that faucet to open up and trying to re-break that nose of Manabu Nakanishi. Argentine backbreaker here on the entrance plank. Finally drops him. You can't win a match out there, but you can damn sure wear down an opponent out there. Forearm shot to the kidneys. Manabu Nakanishi once again owning the ring. Once again, the first man back in. Once again, he knows he's gonna have the advantage. Ogawa on spaghetti legs, a bloody mess back in now. 3/4 cravat chancery, snapmare into the RNC. The rear naked choke. Look at the strength. Swinging Ogawa around by his neck. Ogawa's up. Ogawa's up. Catches the boot. Back heel trip. Nakanishi back up now. Ogawa bridging belly to back suplex. That's one of his favorite moves. And Enziguri from Nakanishi. Look at the fighting spirit. 16 minutes in, and both fighters getting up as soon as they're hit with these moves. Both fighters trying to send a message. High knee from Nakanishi. Ogawa right back up. High crotch, scoop and a slam. Nakanishi right back up. The bloody Ogawa with another scoop and a slam. Fires up. Nakanishi right back up. Sets his man here. Takes him up. Argentine backbreaker. Will Ogawa tap out? Will Ogawa surrender? No, he does not. Lateral press here. Referee in position. Only gets a 1 count. The fighting spirit we saw out of Nakanishi when he took on Kenta Kobashi, when he took on Mitsuharu Misawa, we're seeing it from Ogawa here tonight. Once again, Ogawa thrown 3/4 of the way across the ring. Ogawa picked up, hammerlock thrown once again to the ropes. There's another spear. I believe that's spear number 4 in this contest. Nakanishi putting together an amazing power combination. Takes his man up, power bomb, damn near drills Ogawa through the ring mat. Nakanishi, not to be deterred, goes back to what he knows. There's another torture rack, throws his man down. Ogawa back up. Ogawa's still in this. Ogawa's still showing that fighting spirit. Drop kick, does not drop the big man. Ogawa needs to stay on him. Nakanishi, Saito suplex, Ogawa backflips through, grabs his man from behind. Nakanishi somehow kicks out. Ogawa staying on him. Ogawa hungry. Ogawa feeling it. Ogawa looking for the blindside lariat that time, could not get it. Does get the snapmare back in the crossface variation of the stretch plump. It's only going to take one big move. That might be it. Back leg sweep, the head of Ogawa rocking off the canvas. Ogawa's out. Ogawa's out! Manabu! Manabu! Manabu Nakanishi! Life after death. He is back. He will be competing in the tournament. We're going to see you, Manabushi-san, in round number 2. Folks, it's that hardcore match. It's Scott Flash Norton. It's Jun Akiyama. We're going to take you to that bumper. We're going to give you a little backstory as we see Nakanishi celebrate. Fight Night's finest, putting on the headset. Stay with us. What an awesome encounter we just saw. Yoshinari Ogawa damn near defeated the big man. He hung in there for the better part of 20 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, you see those updated brackets. Manabu Nakanishi has advanced to round number 2 of your catchweight championship tournament. This one is going to be brutal. This one will not be for the faint of heart. It's coming up right now. Let's go back to the arena. Let's go back and watch the entrance of Scott Flash Norton.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's see the hottest battle of the Great Wrestling. Scott Norton from New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Scott Flash Norton, the former arm wrestling champion, the former badass of World Championship Wrestling and the NWO, the former heavyweight IWGP champion of New Japan Pro Wrestling, and a man who tonight looks to settle a score with Jun Akiyama. They fought at Wrestle Kingdom. It was that night Akiyama won. The return match took place a couple of weeks ago. Scott Norton won that one. Tonight, it's the tiebreaker. Let's lay out now and let's listen to the entrance chords of Jun Akiyama.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's see the hottest battle of the great wrestling. Jun Akiyama from Pro Wrestling Noah.
Some call him sternness. Some call him Blue Thunder. It doesn't matter what you call this man, because I call him sadistic and I call him determined. He beat Scott Norton at Wrestle Kingdom, like I just mentioned. That night, he beat Scott Norton with the jackhammer. Scott Norton, in the return bout, beat Jun Akiyama with the jackhammer. You've got to wonder if both of these guys are looking to win the tiebreaker, the rubber match with the jackhammer. I believe that Jun Akiyama, more focused than ever. Fight Night's finest is sitting down next to me. Let's see how this encounter plays out. You hear that opening bell. What's going on? It's match number 2. It's Wrestling Dontaku, and I'm joined here at the broadcast table by Fight Night's finest, the sophist commentator, Jun Akiyama versus Scott Flash Norton. Fight Night, what's going on?
What is going on to the wrestling fans out there? This ought to be a great pay-per-view and a great match between Jun Akiyama and Scott Flash Norton.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the history between these two fighters. It was at Wrestle Kingdom. It was January 4th. These two met in a tag team match. That night, Jun Akiyama came out on top with the jackhammer suplex slam. It was about 5 weeks ago in one-on-one competition in the tournament. Scott Flash Norton met Jun Akiyama in the return match. That night, Scott Flash Norton with a receipt with the jackhammer. 1, 2, 3 got the Duke. Tonight is the tiebreaker. It's the rubber match, and it's no disqualification Fight Night. Early on, you've seen the past 2 matches. What's your prediction? Who do you like going into this encounter?
Going into this encounter, I'm really expecting Scott Flash Norton to come out on top once again, as we saw on Throwdown a couple of weeks ago. Scott Flash Norton was able to use the power moves early on in that match and then wear his opponent down with the submissions. And I'm seeing the same thing going on here tonight with the same game plan. He started off with the power moves. You see him slow down the pace with the submissions and continue to wear Akiyama down. And that's what I think is going to be able to win him this match here tonight.
And I'm actually going to call the opposite man. I think tonight might be the night, as we see that released German suplex. I think tonight might be the night of Jun Akiyama. We've got to think about the fact that, like I said, Scott Flash Norton advanced last time in the tournament. It would shake up the brackets if here in a return match, which is not a tournament match, if Jun Akiyama is able to get the victory. It's no disqualification. We're live from Japan, and Scott Flash Norton grabbing that table, that half of a table from ringside. I just mentioned it's hardcore. It's no DQ. That's as legal as a side headlock. Fight Night, what's the difference between a regular match and a match where you can use weapons, where you can turn the violence up? What's the difference in terms of strategy that we might see here?
The brutality levels will increase in a match of this magnitude. You see the table come out, as you said earlier, but also you're going to see the creativity tonight, where guys are going to find special things from underneath that ring canvas to go ahead and hit his opponent with. You might see extra damage with those power slams having a heavier impact due to the fact that there's a table underneath the guy. The level of brutality is going to be the main difference here tonight, determining who will pick up that win.
And I have to tell you, as awesome a wrestling match, a pure wrestling match, a puro wrestler match as our opening contest was, any coincidences between professional wrestling and what you're about to witness in this match, that's all it is. Purely a coincidence. This will be a brawl. This will be a fight. We saw that short arm lariat just now from Scott Flash Norton. He now picks up Jun Akiyama, snatches him into the side headlock as we start to call some of this action. Now, last time you joined us Fight Night, I talked to you about the difference between a cruiserweight and a heavyweight. And I asked you what the difference was, and you said that maybe a heavyweight might have that slower pace, might have a little bit less in the work rate department, but they hit harder. This is not a catchweight match. This is two heavyweights. Now let me ask you the question. Do you think at some point these two guys are going to have to slow down the pace and maybe try to conserve some of that cardio?
Definitely, because you're getting hit harder, and plus there's foreign objects being put into the ring and going upside people's head in this match. So the pace is definitely going to slow down. You don't have to work as hard when you got that chair doing all the work for you. Or in Akiyama's case, you got that knee doing that work for you. There's so much more extra damage in a disqualification match. So a guy can possibly afford to take his time. And you got to have more heart. You got to be able to kick up after getting hit with that steel chair. So the heart level, the question of if a guy is going to be able to kick up after getting hit with a steel chair is really going to come into play here tonight.
And I agree with that. Let's talk a little bit about the fact that Jun Akiyama in Pro Wrestling Noah was the very first GHC, that's Global Honored Crowned, Open Heavyweight Champion. That was a hardcore style of wrestling. It was weapons, it was blood, it was violence. It was almost like what you would see in the independent or freelance scene back in the FMW days, the frontier martial art. Wait a minute. Norton was looking for that power bomb. We see the squat from Jun Akiyama. Akiyama realized it was do or die time. Snatches Norton. Aurora Borealis, bridging Northern Light suplex. Wait a minute, is that it? No! Scott Flash Norton, able to kick out, able to get that right shoulder up off the canvas. And there we see that trademark innovation of Jun Akiyama, the Exploder Suplex. Talk to me a little bit about why Scott Flash Norton just rolled out of the ring.
Well, after the brutality we just saw from Akiyama, he's gonna need a breather. And sometimes you're gonna need a breather in this kind of match. When you just got slammed on your neck the way he just got slammed on his neck, you're gonna need a little time to recover. You're gonna have to get some of the cobwebs out of your head. And also, you got that unforgiving canvas outside of the ring, that hardcore cement.
Wait a minute, what? Scott Flash Norton, sorry to interrupt you, just grabbed one of those replica swords from one of the fans at ringside. We saw Shinjiro Otani a couple of weeks ago. We know he comes down to the ring with those swords. Scott Flash Norton using one of those foreign objects, or as billionaire Ted would have had me say, one of those international objects on the head, on the face, on the skull, on the dome of Jun Akiyama, and there's a jackhammer outside the ring. It's the move that has ended both matches that these two had against each other. And now Jun Akiyama, skull first into that ring post.
He's busted open. Look at that blood outside of the canvas. Look at that onto that concrete, onto those floor mats outside of the ring. That's what that steel pole has done. We've seen this on Throwdown here before, haven't we, Ray?
This is exactly what I'm talking about. The brutality, the violence, and Scott Flash Norton still working over his man Jun Akiyama, looking to come back. Get shot off, hammerlock throw to the rail. Scott Flash Norton is going in here tonight, live from Japan on pay-per-view. Jun Akiyama finds himself in the rear naked choke. The blood pouring from his forehead like a crimson faucet. Scott Flash Norton finally breaks that hold. In comes Jun Akiyama, missed with the forearm. Once again, skull first into the ring post. Scott Flash Norton, you made the prediction that he would win this match fight night. You might be right. Scott Flash Norton with another weapon right into the sternum of Jun Akiyama. Who do you think has wrestled so far the better match? Who's fought the better fight, should I say, so far?
Norton is definitely he's making use of those weapons. Akiyama's kind of fighting a clean fight. We have yet to see him use one of those foreign objects from underneath the ring canvas. We have yet to see him go in the ring and pick up that table or grab one of these poles. You see Scott Norton using everything around him, and he's making the most of his surroundings as he's hit into the barricade after being head first. Oh, he's throwing him back first into that barricade, and now Akiyama's starting to use his surroundings as well.
And I have to be honest with you, as we see Jun Akiyama back in the ring, I'm not sure if Scott Norton's knocked out or if he's playing possum. We see him start to stir a little bit. Will Jun Akiyama wait for him to get back into the ring? In pro wrestling, the first man in the ring always has the advantage. Akiyama back outside, Saito suplex on the mat, yes, and head on the concrete. Scott Norton now with the bloody skull, fish hooking, digging his fingers into the eye sockets, the bloody dome of Jun Akiyama. This is not for the faint of heart. If you are squeamish, we ask that you look away. Scott Flash Norton keeping that hold on. Scott Flash Norton not breaking up, not stepping away from Akiyama, not letting his man back up, picks him up, sends him back first into the guardrail. Let's talk about some of the finishers these men will look for. We can talk about that flashback of Scott Norton, his United States finisher, that running shoulder breaker. He also has the power bomb. But I think tonight, if he can get it, he's going to look for a second jackhammer. He's going to look for a jackhammer inside the ring to send the message to Jun Akiyama, and I believe Jun Akiyama, even though he's got the Northern Lights, even though he's got the King Crab hold, even though he's got the Exploder and Exploder 98, I believe he will also look to send a message.
He's picking up that table. He's got that table in his hand. We're gonna see what Norton's gonna do with that. That table, that was thrown into the ring earlier, and he has not forgot about it. He's dropped it a couple of times, so maybe he's not ready to use it yet, as he's now heading for that power bomb, Arachnid.
And yes, he is, and he drops his man. There's a cover to follow up. Let's see if he can get the Duke here. No, he does not. But like I was saying, I believe Jun Akiyama will also look to end this match with a jackhammer. There's the hammerlock throw, the Irish whip, short, lariato, cover, and once again, Jun Akiyama kicks out. What does Jun Akiyama have to do here, Fight Night, to come back into this thing?
He's got to hit Norton with something hard. He's got to use one of those foreign objects in order to get himself back in this match. Because Scott Flash Norton is on a roll as he's looking for that vertical Bane Buster, and he hits him on top of that table.
It was an avalanche brain buster. Skull first onto the table. Let's see if Scott Norton can capitalize. Lots of excitement, lots of intrigue here. Number 2 on the way. Once again, avalanche brainbuster from Scott Flash Norton. Fight Night. We talked about what Jun Akiyama has to do to come back into this thing. As we see Norton to the outside again, Jun Akiyama has not been able to do it. Norton had the broomstick, drops it. I think he's looking for something else. It's the other half of that table as he slides it back into the ring. Is there any hope at this point for Jun Akiyama?
I don't think so. That's 2 tables now. Norton has had bad intentions with that other half of the table. As you said earlier, he hit that avalanche brainbuster off the top rope. So I'm expecting to see him probably go through that table if he's able to set it up. But Akiyama showing some fight here, going with the leg kick downstairs.
We saw that backhand knife edge chop from the heavy hitter. Scott Norton, not a guy who likes to fly, going up top. This is a rare occasion. Scores with the double sledge off the top turnbuckle. Jun Akiyama landing hard on the small of his back. And we see Norton telegraphing something big here, telling the fans, telling the referee, telling the announce table, it's over, as Norton fires up, and let's see what he can do. Going back to the table, drops it, maybe just positioning that table to look for a finishing move here. Once again, fans, it's every Thursday night. It's Throwdown. We thank you for joining us. If you haven't, we hope you will in the future. Like, comment, subscribe. Irish whip, deep rotation, power slam and a cover. Only gets a 1 count. Fight Night. We know you usually call boxing. We know that wrestling is not your usual thing. Wait a minute here. Scott Norton with the brain buster on the table. Fight Night. What's the difference between the preparation that goes into a big boxing match and a big wrestling match?
I think the biggest difference is the time difference. You gotta understand, boxers can train up for an entire year for a fight. The promotion also may take a while for a deal to be set up, so a boxer can probably take some time off. Wrestlers fight almost every other night or every other week or so. So the difference in intensity level of how often these guys are fighting is the biggest difference in the ring here tonight.
And Scott Flash Norton that time reversing that suplex. I believe Jun Akiyama did come down partially on that table, and it is a point well taken as Scott Norton now with the atomic drop. Wrestlers sometimes fight 5-6 times a week. I've heard guys of fighting twice a night. Scott Flash Norton and Jun Akiyama have not had a tremendous amount of time to fight. It's been about 5 weeks since they fought each other, but they have been wrestling full-time schedule. Scott Norton in the United States independent scene. Wait a minute. Scott Norton here takes his man up. Jackhammer on the table. It ended the last 2 matches. Let's see. And it ends match number 3. There's the tiebreaker. Scott Flash Norton wins the feud, gets the Duke. When the dust settled, when the smoke cleared, the man who came out on top is Scott Flash Norton. Fight Night, we thank you for joining us. Please stay tuned. It's that awesome tag team match. It's your main event. It's next. Stay here.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's see the hottest battle of quick wrestling. Now, reaching Marufuji.
Now Omichi Marufuji making his way down the aisle in his mask, in that trademark mask, as he always does. A legend in pro wrestling, Noah. A man who's made excursions to the United States and impressed fans in Ring of Honor Pro Wrestling. Tonight, he's stepping up with the heavyweights. He is an active participant in round number 2 of the catchweight tournament. So is his partner Takeshi Morishima. So is one of his opponents, Mitsuharu Misawa. The 4th man is the world champion. Marufuji, no doubt, wants to send a message to all 3 of them.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's see the hottest battle of quick wrestling. Kobashi Morishima from Pro Wrestling Noah.
New Japan Pro Wrestling's Yuji Nagata has advanced to round number 2 of the tournament. It was at Wrestle Kingdom that Yuji Nagata took on the man you see making his way down towards the ring, Takeshi Morishima. That night, it was Takeshi Morishima getting the win, scoring the Duke, getting the upset over Yuji Nagata. Since then, Takeshi Morishima has gone on to defeat Ogawa, who we saw moments ago. Takeshi Morishima wants to solidify his place as a serious heavyweight and a serious world heavyweight title contender. as always, one of my favorite entrance themes of any professional wrestler ever. Mitsuharu Misawa, I had to lay out, I had to enjoy that theme, and I had to let the fans at home, I had to let all of you do the same. Mitsuharu Misawa, with that 5-star classic against the man he teams with tonight, Kenta Kobashi. These two have quite a history. They fought against each other. They fought with each other. These guys broke in pretty much together in All Japan Pro Wrestling. They teamed up many times in All Japan Pro Wrestling. Mitsuharu Misawa is also in the tournament. And Mitsuharu Misawa, even though he's teamed up with Kenta Kobashi, would love nothing more than to send a message to Kenta Kobashi here tonight. That message being, watch your back. I'm a serious contender. Another classic pro wrestling Puroresu entrance theme, that being of Kenta Kobashi. We saw Mitsuharu Misawa make his way down the aisle moments ago. We talked about All Japan Pro Wrestling. We talked about how Mitsuharu Misawa and Kenta Kobashi used to team up in AJPW, how they almost broke into this sport together. Tonight, Mitsuharu Misawa looking to send that message to Kobashi, but yes, Kobashi looking to send a message to not only Misawa, not only Marufuji, not only Takeshi Morishima, but to every individual on the planet who wants pro wrestling's top prize. And you see, the world champion, it's a rare occasion when he comes out in those orange trunks. You've got to think that it's throwback night, and he's thinking about those old school tag matches with Mitsuharu Misawa. Some big name fighters here in Pro Wrestling Noah. It's main event time. Let's see how this thing plays out. For the third time tonight, you hear that opening bell. Before we get into this, I'd like to personally thank Fight Night's Finest for joining us for that bloodbath we just had between Jun Akiyama and Scott Flash Norton. We saw the early cover there. Naomichi Marufuji able to kick out. Irish whip that time on Mitsuharu Misawa. Scores with the drop kick. Let's identify the fighters before we get too deep into this match. In the green, in the silver, it's Mitsuharu Misawa. In the long black trunks, it's Naomichi Marufuji. Out on the ring skirt, in the orange, you see your IWGP World Champion. You see Kenta Kobashi. And out on the opposite ring skirt, in the black trunks, with the black and white boots and the black knee pads now coming in, it's Takeshi Morishima. Kobashi came in. He was looking for an early burning lariat. It was blocked. Takeshi Morishima missed with the super kick. DDT that time from your world champion. Kenta Kobashi shoots a half lateral press and a rope break. We are coming to you live once again. Lariat ducked. Wait a minute. There's the rear naked choke from Kenta Kobashi. Sleeper suplex. We are coming to you live, like I said before, once again from Japan. We thank you for joining us on this special occasion, on this Sunday night. What an awesome pay-per-view this has been already as we get into the starting point of tonight's main event. Let's go through some of the finishing moves these individuals will look for as Kobashi spins into that leg grapevine. Kenta Kobashi, so many finishers he has. The black crush, the orange crush, the moonsault, the burning lariat. When we talk about Naomichi Marufuji, He's got the Phoenix Splash. He's got that Firebird Splash, Shades of Hayabusa, the 450. He's also got the Shiranui and the Shiranui Kai. When I say Shiranui, I'm talking about the sliced bread. When I say Shiranui Kai, I'm talking about a move you've seen Frankie Kazarian use in the United States. I'm talking about a move you people might know as the Flux Capacitor. Naomichi Marufuji giving up a tremendous amount of weight, not only to his opponents, but also to his tag team partner in this encounter. Great chain wrestling. Great catches, catch can that time by Marufuji. Marufuji in there with the world champion. Now let's talk about this tournament as the champion steps into the Boston Crab. In this tournament, once again, the winner gets a shot at either the junior heavyweight champion or the world heavyweight champion. The winner makes the decision which one he wants to face. We know about the rivalry between Naomichi Marufuji and Jushin Thunder Liger. The rivalry that's been burning for the past year and a half. We saw that awesome match they had at Wrestle Kingdom. Most people think that if Naomichi Marufuji wins this tournament, he will cash in and go after Jushin Thunder Liger and that junior heavyweight championship. I've got news for you. He might just cash in and go after Kenta Kobashi. We see Naomichi Marufuji out on the ring skirt, accepting this match tonight, possibly to scout the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, Kenta Kobashi. That chancery in the snapmare, we saw the boot, and it was a short burning lariat, not the real deal that time. Side headlock this time. And there's a backdrop driver. We talked about some of the finishing moves of these wrestlers earlier. Takeshi Morishima loves the backdrop driver. Frankensteiner! What a beautiful counter from your world champion as he tags out to Mitsuharu Misawa. Misawa comes in, spinning back elbow. Hooks the head, three-quarter cravat chancery. The modified stretch plum. We saw that earlier from Ogawa. There's the shot on Kenta Kobashi. Misawa, Pescado Suicida. If we talk about Takeshi Morishima, we're almost talking about the oddball in this match. So much respect between the other three individuals. Takeshi Morishima doesn't show that same type of respect. He doesn't care. He's out to win, and he's out to win by any means necessary. We now know that in round number 2, Takeshi Morishima will take on Shinjiro Otani. We also know that in round number 2, by way of the brackets, Naomichi Marufuji, wait a minute, Takeshi Morishima off the top, look for the elbow, nobody home. Such smart wrestling on the part of Misawa. Front face lock, suplex back in on Misawa. Like I was saying, we now know that Naomichi Marufuji, and maybe this is another reason he's scouting these heavyweights in this match. It will be no small task in round number 2. Naomichi Marufuji, as we see La Quebra Doriconillo, the Tilt-A-Whirl backbreaker. Naomichi Marufuji will take on Scott Flash Norton. That will be in weeks to come on Thursday Night Throwdown. Morishima grabs Misawa, sends him back into the corner, connects with that drop kick, in close, picks his man out of the corner, front face lock, takes him up and over with the brain buster. Takeshi Morishima looking to follow up with the elbow, did not connect. Morishima trying to stay in control, but here comes the world champion. These two exchanging leathers. Kenta Kobashi with a super kick in the corner. The Sabat kick. The backhand knife edge chop. You've always got to watch those chops in the corner because once Kobashi starts, he does not stop. Showed a palm strike that time. Backhand chop once again from the champion. Hooks his man. Half Nelson suplex. Dropping the 250 plus pound Takeshi Morishima on his dome. Kobashi, there it is. There we see those machine gun chops in the corner. And let's talk about some of the other brackets in round number 2 of the tournament. We see Misawa come back in. It will be Mitsuharu Misawa in round number 2 of the Catchweight Championship Tournament, taking on Yuji Nagata. We can also talk about Yoshihiro Takayama. We now know in round 2 he will take on Manabu Nakanishi. Both of those matches in weeks to come on Thursday Night Throwdown. Sometimes in professional wrestling, a wrestler will start out as a cruiserweight or as a smaller wrestler and eventually will become a heavyweight. And a lot of the time, as you see with the guy almost like a Samoa Joe or Mitsuharu Misawa who you see in the ring, a lot of these guys, as they become heavyweights, as they add on that weight, be it muscle or fat, they retain some of those cruiserweight moves, some of those cruiserweight techniques. Mitsuharu Misawa was Tiger Mask number 2, right after Sayama. Mitsuharu Misawa made a name for himself as Tiger Mask and does retain a lot of those high-flying, high-paced, high-intensity moves, so it's going to be awesome to see him in the ring here with Naomichi Marufuji. Leg grapevine that time, it's just damn painful. We've said it 3 weeks in a row. Mitsuharu Misawa is all over Naomichi Marufuji once again, spun in to that inside leg grapevine, that modified heel hook. You see Takeshi Morishima and Kenta Kobashi looking on. Fujiwara armbar that time from Naomichi Marufuji, keeping the hold on. Center ring, cranking it up. Look at the confidence in Kenta Kobashi. Not coming in, does not feel it necessary to break the hold. He is yelling over there now, but he was confident that Mitsuharu Misawa would not only be able to get out, but would not submit. Takeshi Morishima with that super kick. And Takeshi Morishima once again will look to fly. Tomahawk chop off the top. Takeshi Morishima looking to stay on his man. Electric chair, and he releases his inner fury. Takeshi Morishima showing Mitsuharu Misawa and also showing the world champion why he should be a contender, why he is a contender. Dropping the leg a couple of times, Takeshi Morishima once again looking at Kenta Kobashi. No, Morishima coming off the top here, flying shoulder block off the top. No one was home. Picks up Takeshi Morishima, waist lock, bridging Karl Gotch suplex, the bridging German, the bridging belly to back, call it what you will. Misawa did not score with the knee, Takeshi Morishima did score with the elbow. And can you imagine here for a second, if either Naomichi Marufuji or Takeshi Morishima here tonight in Japan is successful in defeating the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Kenta Kobashi. Misawa, a sitting duck, once again eats the tomahawk chop. Lateral press that time, referee in position, and Kobashi finally coming in. We talked earlier about the confidence of Kobashi not to come in. These two will work, I believe, better as a team than Naomichi Marufuji and Takeshi Morishima because they have teamed up before, like I mentioned earlier. 2 times the world champion looked for the Tiger Suplex. Lariato! 2 times he looked for that Tiger Suplex. 2 times he did not get it. It was that sick lariat from Mitsuharu Misawa. The slugfest now continues at center ring. Mitsuharu Misawa and Takeshi Morishima once again bridging German suplex. Does not even get a 1 count. Naomichi Marufuji looking on from that ring skirt. I believe Takeshi Morishima might be making a mistake here. He's not really fluent with the tags. He's not working as well as Kenta Kobashi and Mitsuharu Misawa have been. He's trying to do everything on his own. He wants to be the star of the match, the star of the night. That might be a mistake. All 4 of these men are, yes, legends in Japan, and also all 4 of these men have also competed in the United States for Ring of Honor Pro Wrestling. It was in 2005 when Kenta Kobashi in New York City took on Samoa Joe in Ring of Honor that those two had the match of the year. DDT that time from Kenta Kobashi, who now steps into the camel clutch. Kenta Kobashi back on his feet. Irish whip that time to Takeshi Morishima. Lariato! There's a message for the world champion Takeshi Morishima. Executing a burning lariat on Kenta Kobashi. Now drops the elbow from that top turnbuckle. Stomping on the knee. Dropping the elbow on the knee. Kenta Kobashi reeling. Shoots a half lateral press. Only got a 1 count. 3/4 cravat chancery. Here comes Naomichi Marufuji. Marufuji and Kenta Kobashi getting into it. Marufuji, shot off, returns. There's a diving shoulder block from the 260-pound World Heavyweight Champion. This thing breaking down. The referee having issues keeping order in this. Mid-ring collision. And it's Takeshi Morishima dropping the big man, getting a cover. Did not get a 3 count that time. Takeshi Morishima and the world champion Kenta Kobashi collar and elbow lockup. Here comes Kenta Kobashi with the answer. Nailed him with that shin breaker. Kobashi now looking for something. Wait a minute. Burning Lariato! Kenta Kobashi drilled Takeshi Morishima with this finisher. Takes a super kick, does Naomichi Marufuji. Kenta Kobashi pissed off. Kenta Kobashi fired up as now he tags out to Mitsuharu Misawa. Takeshi Morishima damn near lost his head on that burning lariat. And if you're looking to take home a souvenir, what better than one of the wrestlers' heads? Comes in with the forearm shiver, does Misawa. Misawa now front face lock into a DDT. Mitsuharu Misawa and Kenta Kobashi working together tonight like a well-oiled machine. They've been there before. They know what it takes to get the job done. Forearm shivers ended up with that rolling elbow. Mitsuharu Misawa in control. Once again, the same 3-hit combination. It is my opinion that Naomichi Marufuji needs to get into the ring. There's a drop kick from Takeshi Morishima. Elbow did not connect. The second drop kick did connect. There's another elbow shiver. Mitsuharu Misawa scores with that charging elbow. Takeshi Morishima has been busted open. He is a bloody mess. Now looking to come back and get some offense. Morishima with the front face lock, snaps off that brain buster. Morishima, I believe, needs to tag out to Naomichi Marufuji, and it looks like that's exactly what he does. In comes a fresh Naomichi Marufuji. Flying corkscrew, Lariato! Mitsuharu Misawa, still feeling good in this thing. He's going for a second Irish whip. Naomichi Marufuji hooks the ropes. Misawa comes in with the boot. Backhand knife edge chop. And here once again comes the world champion as Naomichi Marufuji fires up. Shoulder block. And Marufuji right back up, looking to send a message to all 3 heavyweights in this match with him. Suplex that time. Naomichi Marufuji blocks the soul butt. Looked for a soul butt of his own, didn't get it. Side headlock here from Kobashi. Kobashi countered out with the backbreaker. Mitsuharu Misawa looks in. You see him trying to yell some strategy off to Kobashi. Irish whip to the corner. Naomichi Marufuji comes out. Got hit with that soul butt. Connects with a couple of kicks of his own. Ends the series with the standing drop kick. Tombstone piledriver from Naomichi Marufuji. Marufuji needs to stay on the world champion, and it looks like that's exactly what he's doing as he drops back into the inverted Go-Go Plata. It was last Thursday night on Throwdown that we saw Yuji Nagata use that Go-Go Plata against Akira Taue. That was a regulation Go-Go Plata he used, and it was successful for him. Naomichi Marufuji looking to put this away. Almost got a 2 count on your IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Front face lock. Can he get him up? No! Kobashi-san blocking it. Kenta Kobashi, your world champion, fires up. Naomichi Marufuji in a bad situation here. Kobashi takes him up. Powerbomb! There have been many stories told tonight. One of the stories is the fighting spirit of Naomichi Marufuji. Coming in tonight, getting into the ring with 3 heavyweights and hanging with them very well, possibly defeating one of the 2 of them momentarily. Let's see. Front face lock here. Kobashi. There's that black crush. It's that vertical suplex turned into that ace crusher. Missile drop kick does not connect. Naomichi Marufuji, super kick. Burning Lariato! Kenta Kobashi is not playing around tonight, or ever, with those burning lariats. Do not piss off that man you see right there in those orange trunks. Naomichi Marufuji opting to leave the ring the same way Takeshi Morishima did earlier when he got hit with the burning lariat. And unlike Takeshi Morishima, Naomichi Marufuji did not hesitate to tag out when he needed the tag. Double leg that time from Mitsuharu Misawa. Spins through. There you see that Native American death lock. As he locks the butterfly lock, Mitsuharu Misawa showing his catch can. Drops into the Juji Gatami. Takeshi Morishima blocking it with the clasp. Misawa kept it on for a second, just trying to break that clasp. Could not do it. There's another double leg. And once again, Mitsuharu Misawa is in control of this match. Irish whip, hammerlock throw to the corner. Forearm shiver that time. Misawa catches the boot to the gut. Double leg that time once again on Takeshi Morishima. What a main event we have presented for you here tonight. Hell, what a pay-per-view we have presented here for you tonight, and it's not over yet. It started with that awesome match between Ogawa and Manabu Nakanishi. There's the Tiger Driver. If he can shoot a half, I believe he's got him. Yes, he does. Cover. 1, 2, and Naomichi Marufuji comes in and makes the save. I believe Takeshi Morishima was out that time. Drop kick drops the world champion. Now we see some collusion. Now we see some teamwork between Marufuji and Takeshi Morishima. Morishima, the former Ring of Honor world champion now. It's not just a train station, it's damn painful. It was that Shinononaki clutch over the knee of Takeshi Morishima. We saw that bloodbath earlier on Scott Flash Norton and Jun Akiyama, and now we see more blood on the canvas. Naomichi Marufuji is legal. Misawa catches him. Front face lock. There's a receipt from earlier, and it's Naomichi Marufuji with the brainbuster on the world champion. Kenta Kobashi looking to go back for it. There's a delay. And there's a delayed brainbuster, beautifully executed. Kobashi going up top. Moonsault press, hooks the far leg. In comes Takeshi Morishima. Morishima came in to make a save. Was not necessary as Naomichi Marufuji got out on his own. Takeshi Morishima staying in the ring and drops the world champion face first. Here comes Misawa with a boot. Misawa had seen enough of the double teaming. Once again, this match breaking down. Now keep in mind here, Takeshi Morishima is not legal. Mitsuharu Misawa is not legal. The 2 legal men are Naomichi Marufuji and Kenta Kobashi. Mitsuharu Misawa being respectful, leaving the ring. Naomichi Marufuji decides to stay in. Snatches the side headlock on your world champion. Kenta Kobashi down to a knee. Naomichi Marufuji missed with that drop kick. The 2 legal men back into the ring by themselves here. Kenta Kobashi. Powerbomb countered with a Frankensteiner. We saw that earlier from Kobashi, and we just saw it from Naomichi Marufuji, who gets caught. Half Nelson suplex. This thing is still anyone's match. I believe any one of these four individuals, as we see one more half Nelson suplex. Kobashi walking to the far side of the ring, fires up. Look out, Naomichi, look out! Burning Nariato! Kenta Kobashi shoots a half, that's it! That's it! No! No, Naomichi Marufuji somehow reached down and kicked out. Burning Lariat! Number 2! That's it! That's it! There's no one to make a save! Cover! Can he get there in time? 2! No! No, he does not! Mitsuharu Misawa and Kenta Kobashi have won! Wait a minute! Morishima still attacking Misawa outside the ring! You see Kenta Kobashi looking on! Fans, we hope you enjoyed our Wrestling Dontaku pay-per-view offering. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to Fight Night's Finest for joining us as well on commentary. Join us every Thursday night for Throwdown. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you, arigato, and good night.